So I wanted to do a little talk about inspiration and about like where I find my inspiration and how I stay inspired. I know that inspiration is something that you shouldn't wait for. I know that much. I know that inspiration is something that you should always be searching for, and it should be something that you're always trying to be be feeling, especially as a creative person or as an artist. Like you should always be looking and being aware of what's around you, and um, you should always be reading and writing and like taking from everything that you see, feel, hear, observe, because those little things are the things that make your writing like magic. They're the little things that really give you that more detail, give you that realness, give you that kind of special spark to your writing. I know for me that if I just like if I take my journal everywhere I go, which I always do, then I get so many good ideas because I'm always on the lookout for inspiration. I think, and I'm always like making myself feel it. Like I'm not waiting for something external to like make me feel inspired. I know that if I do that, then I know that I'll always have that feeling. I won't have to be waiting for something else to like get me in the right mindset or get me in the mood to create. So for me, like I make sure that like I read things and I make sure that I'm always always got the ideas to like always got like the ideas in my right in my head, and I've always got like the capacity to be learning and the capacity to finding new things out and trying new things and growing, because that's what feeds into my writing. For me, like when I write, I'm always writing about myself. Like even though I love to write about other people, like when I'm observing other people, it's a way for me to understand myself. So I feel like for writing and for inspiration, they're so closely linked, because when you're writing, you're looking outwards a lot because you're taking note. It's kind of like a commentary. You're kind of taking note on what's around you, what's happening around you, and then in turn like spinning it and kind of taking what it makes you feel internally. I think inspiration definitely shouldn't be something that we wait for, because if we wait for it, then we're missing so many amazing opportunities to tell a story, or to tell something that is special to us, or to observe a conversation between two people, or to like, I don't know. I think there's special and rare moments when you're not looking for them, uh, as well. I know those go hand in hand. Is sometimes when you're not looking for things, like they find you. But I think sometimes inspiration is one of those things that you have to kind of like make room for, especially as a creative person. I know that the ways that I stay inspired is that I'm constantly carrying my journal with me, so I'm constantly making notes, taking observations, constantly documenting how I feel. Another thing is my awareness is peaked. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm constantly looking around and what's around me. I'm constantly becoming aware of the way I'm feeling or the way things feel for me. I think that's another thing too. It's like when your awareness is strong and you're looking around you and you're noticing is another thing. You're noticing how you feel, you're noticing your environment, you're noticing your kind of like creative moods, like what you rely on, what you don't rely on as a creative person. That's when you can start really getting the magic of what it is that you're creating. And I think staying inspired is another hard thing. It's staying with that feeling and kind of as you're creating, like becoming what it is that you're creating, but then kind of, I don't know, I guess kind of taking from it and then becoming inspiration. I think that's hard too, is like becoming your inspiration, because if you can really feel it all and you can really like sense it all and you can really get into like how it feels for you, then you're creating something so natural and so magical. Um, Another way that I like to kind of stay inspired is make sure that I'm always on the lookout for new things to write about. And I'm always like, I'm trying not to what's the word? Like, I'm trying to like be open minded with that too. It's like making sure that I'm not just inspired by things that I like, So sometimes inspired by things that I don't like, or inspired by things that, like, I don't know, inspired by things that, I don't know, inspired by things that kind of I wouldn't normally read or wouldn't normally look at. That's another one, is making sure that you're kind of not closing yourself off, because inspiration could be anywhere and ideas can be found anywhere. Like, no matter where you are, no matter what kind of situation, I think those ideas can be found anywhere. And another beautiful thing is that it all comes from within. I think that's another thing I love about inspiration, is like the fact that it's coming from within, that you're taking what you see and you're like, it's all coming from within and you're processing it within, and then you're then creating this like piece of work, like artwork, poetry. I'm just obsessed with that stuff. Yeah, so that's just like a little talk about inspiration. I want to do another one about inspiration. I want to show you guys some journal pages that I've done like free writing, because that's another reason why I do free writing, is to get my inspiration always running, to always be open to it, to always be inspired. Because if you're always inspired, then you're always creating, you know? Um, so yeah, next time when I do another video, I'll show you guys some journal pages that I've done. I've done some free writes. I've done some like little notes about inspiration and like where I found it and how I've stayed in that like feeling. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. Bye.